The beautiful game has given us many wonderful memories. Many of them are happy, but a few are sad. But today, we'll look at some amusing football moments. In light of all the comical occasions, let us recall our top 10 hilarious moments in football history. Number 10. Luis Suarez bites Branislav Ivanovic. On April 21st, 2013, Luis Suarez scored his 30th goal of the season and earned Liverpool a point with a thrilling injury-time equaliser against Chelsea at Anfield. But that's not what the day is known for. It's remembered as the day the Uruguayan bit Chelsea's Branislav Ivanovic on the right arm, earning him a 10-match suspension. The event, however, went unnoticed by the referee, and he was able to remain on the field without being sent off. Surprisingly, this was Suarez's third biting incident, since he was previously banned for 7 games for biting PSV Eindhoven's Otman Bakal as AFC Ajax's captain in 2010. Suarez then went on a third rampage when he buried his teeth into Giorgio Chiellini's shoulder in Uruguay's 1-0 World Cup victory against Italy in 2014. Number 9. I prefer not to speak. After Chelsea's defeat against Aston Villa, their club manager Jose Mourinho delivered this funny statement in his Portuguese accent. He said,
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
It quickly became a meme template and it never loses its charm. Mourinho was visibly dissatisfied with the officiating decisions that went against his team during the loss. Jose Mourinho made the infamous statement in the post-match news conference, hinting that he chose not to speak about the referee and performance of Chris Foy, the referee in charge of the match they ultimately lost, for fear of facing a retroactive penalty from the Football Association organisation. Number 8. Coach, explain how to dive. Many players in contemporary football have dived inside the box or in any section of the field to gain a penalty or an advantage. Former Manchester United manager Louis van Gaal intended to teach his team how to dive. During his early days as a manager, Van Gaal earned himself a reputation because of his touchline antics, and in the midst of a victory against Arsenal, he decided to revert to his old ways. The manager was trying to show Mike Dean the issue since he was dissatisfied with the officiating. To put it another way, he rebuilt the situation and performed this amazing dive. Dean was unimpressed by the rants and groans of an angry coach on the sidelines, so the Dutchman decided to recreate the situation, one of football's funniest moments. Number 7. Mascot trolls Suarez. Luis Suarez was handed the Liverpool captaincy for the Premier League trip to Tottenham and was immediately involved in a missed handshake. This time, however, there was not an awful lot the Uruguayan could have done about it, as the little girl walking with Brazil and Spurs midfielder Paulinho took it upon herself to miss the Suarez handshake. The girl not only avoided Suarez's hand, but then lifted her hand to her nose, one of the oldest tricks in the schoolyard. Number 6. Matt Ritchie kicks flag into genitals. Supporters frequently consider last-minute goals for their team as among the fondest experiences. Yet one Newcastle United fan's joy was short-lived following Isaac Hayden's 94th-minute header against Chelsea in their 1-0 triumph. Matt Ritchie is known for kicking corner flags and excitement, but his actions after Hayden's winner backfired this time. Ritchie ran to the corner to congratulate the goal scorer and booted the corner flag, but the flag flew into the joyful crowd and struck one fan in the genitals. Soon after, a video on social media went viral, showing the man in question sitting and visibly in agony as the ecstatic home fans cheered the Newcastle players off the field after the final whistle blew. The row of spectators behind him and the person taking the video clearly saw the hilarious side of the incident and videotaped the corner flag being given back to the stewards to be set back on the pitch. Number 5. How big does the target need to be? Once upon a time, Chelsea's offense was led by Fernando Torres. The player has numerous spectacular goals in his career for them, but a miss in such circumstances is simply unacceptable. He missed an open goal opportunity during a match between Chelsea and Manchester United. Fernando Torres had been struggling before the Manchester United game, and virtually everyone expected his goal against the Red Devils to motivate him to return to form. Still, his miss from 4 yards didn't do wonders for his confidence. confidence. Torres pounced into a through pass from Ramirez and easily beat David De Gea. However, after all of his hard effort, he fired wide off the target and looked extremely disappointed. It was so awful the broadcaster had to ask, how big does the target need to be? Number 4. Thierry Henry and Jamie Carragher react to Brendan Rodgers' sacking. On October 4th, 2015, Sky Sports pundits Jamie Carragher, Thierry Henry and Graham Souness sat in the Sky Sports studio at Arsenal's Emirates Stadium dissecting the hosts' 3-0 win over Manchester United. The win was wrapped up in the first 19 minutes of the match, courtesy of a brace from Alex Sanchez and a Mesut Ozil goal. Nevertheless, just as the former Arsenal attacker was going to heap praise on Ozil and midfielder Francis Coquelin, presenter Ed Chamberlain abruptly interrupted to deliver the massive breaking news that Brendan Rodgers and Liverpool had decided to part ways. What followed next has been seen millions of times on GIFs and memes, as a visibly surprised Henry went for the leg of a frozen Carragher, who moved his eyes toward the camera in an iconic fashion. Henry couldn't keep a wide-eyed smile from breaking out, while Souness merely gazed off camera and straight ahead, possibly remembering his own departure from Liverpool almost 22 years ago. Number 3. Run, Adebayor, run! Scoring in any game is fantastic, but scoring against your previous squad is extraordinary. The majority of players do not celebrate or show any reaction since they are aware of the emotional worth the fans attach to them. Adebayor was not like other players, and he did exactly the opposite. Emmanuel Adebayor scored against his old team Arsenal and sprinted the entire length of the field to celebrate in front of his former fans. He made a daring move since the spectators were incensed by the player's gesture. Adebayor has since talked about the event, describing in further detail how the abuse he received went beyond tribal slurs and into racist comments. Number 2. Pickford hands Liverpool an injury time victory. Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford will be remembered for his error in the Merseyside derby against Liverpool in the 2018-19 season, which let Liverpool score an injury time victory. After putting up a fantastic defensive showing at Anfield in December, the Toffees appeared ready to secure an amazing draw, but Pickford threw everything away by handing Divock Origi an easy goal. Pickford failed to deal with Virgil van Dijk's ballooning shot, which seemed to be sailing over the bar, and only managed to swipe the ball back into the game and into the path of Origi. From just a yard out, he made no mistake as he headed the ball into the back of the net to subject Everton to a defeat from which they appear to have yet to recover. Pickford became a laughingstock in the aftermath of the gaffe, despite claiming a few months before the game that he wouldn't blunder like Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper. Number 1. Don't slip. April 27th, 2014 will live on in the memory of all Liverpool supporters, particularly legendary player Steven Gerrard. The Reds came so close to ending a 24-year wait for a 19th league title under Brendan Rodgers' management. Consider someone who urges everyone not to do something but then does it himself. In this case though, it was more accidental than purposeful. When Chelsea arrived at Merseyside that day, there was a sense of confidence in the air. Clearly, it was a matter of when, not if, they'd be crowned Premier League champions again. So a few weeks before, he gives this huge speech in which he warns the guys not to let it slip, and then he goes and slips to cost them the title. Ouch! So, what are some of your favourite all-time funniest football moments?